Skol, Vikings Nation. What's good, my purple and gold family? It's your die-hard Vikings fan here, bringing you the hottest scoop straight from the frozen tundra of Minnesota. Today, we're diving into some electrifying news about the 2025 NFL Draft, specifically the running back position. Could this be the year we finally land a game-changer to pound the rock and carry us to glory? Buckle up, because this teaser's gonna hit harder than a Brian Robinson sack. We're talking about Arizona State's Cam Skattebo, a beast who's got the NFL buzzing after a monster college football playoff run. Now, let's set the stage. The Vikings have been searching for that perfect running back to complement our offense ever since. Well, let's be real. Since Dalvin Cook left us dreaming of those explosive runs. General Manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has already shown he's not afraid to dip into the draft for talent, snagging Ty Chandler in the 5th round of 2022 and Dwayne McBride in the 7th round of 2023. But this year's different. The 2025 running back class is stacked deeper than a Minneapolis snowbank, and the Vikings could strike gold with a guy like Skattebo, who's already turning heads and breaking tackles like it's his job. So here's the hook that's gonna reel you in. Imagine a 5 feet 9 inches, 215-pound freight train barreling through defenses, forcing 103 missed tackles in a single season, and racking up nearly 4,800 rushing yards in his college career. That's Cam Skattebo, folks. A third-year junior who finished as the 2024 Heisman Trophy runner-up and transferred from Sacramento State to Arizona State to dominate. Stick with me as we break down why he could be the missing piece in our Skol puzzle. And trust me, you're not going to want to miss a second of this Vikings news. Let's kick things off with some context, Vikings faithful. Our running back room has been a roller coaster lately. Aaron Jones is a stud, no doubt, but at 30 years old, we need a young thunderbolt to pair with him and keep our offense humming. Enter the 2025 NFL Draft, where the running back talent pool is so deep it's practically Lake Minnetonka. Kwesi Adofo-Mensah has a golden opportunity to snag a difference-maker, and after his moves in free agency, like trading for Jordan Mason from the 49ers, he's proving he's all about building a squad that hits hard and fast. Now, picture this. It's January 2nd, 2025, at the Caesars Superdome, and Cam Skattebo is putting on a clinic in the college football playoff. Against top-tier defenses, this dude's churning out 143 yards and 2 touchdowns on 30 carries, plus snagging 8 catches for 99 yards against Texas. That's the kind of versatility that makes Vikings fans salivate. 6.4 yards per carry, 50 career rushing touchdowns, and 80 receptions for 862 yards. Skattebo's not just a runner. He's a 3-down weapon who could take our offense to the next level. But here's where the suspense builds. Will he fall to us? The Vikings are slated to pick around 24th in the first round, and with a class this loaded, some mocks have Skattebo slipping into the 2nd or even 3rd round. Kwesi's got just 4 picks in this draft after last year's trades for J.J. McCarthy and Dallas Turner. So every selection's gotta count. Could we trade back, stockpile picks, and still land this Arizona State beast? Let's dig deeper, fam. What do you think? Alright, let's talk about what makes Skattebo special, because this guy's a highlight reel waiting to happen. First off, his contact balance is insane. He's like a Mack truck with legs, refusing to go down easy. In 2024 alone, he forced 103 missed tackles, and across his 750 career carries, he's racked up 262 forced misses. You're not arm tackling this dude. He'll run through you, spin past you, or juke you out of your cleats just for fun. Then there's his quickness, and trust me, it's deceptive. At 215 pounds, you wouldn't expect Skattebo to dance through holes like a scatback, but those nimble feet say otherwise. Watch his games against Oregon State or Washington State from 2024. He bursts through the line and hits the 2nd level before linebackers even blink. For Vikings fans who've been craving a power back with some juice, this is the guy who could turn 3rd and short into 1st and goal. And the versatility? Oh man, it's chef's kiss perfection. Skattebo's got 111 career catches, including 45 for 605 yards and 3 touchdowns last season alone. He's a bulldozer in pass protection too, picking up blitzers like it's personal. Imagine him lining up next to Aaron Jones, giving J.J. McCarthy a safety valve and a battering ram all in one. But here's the question. Can he stay healthy with that bruising style? That's the cliffhanger we're wrestling with next. Let's get real for a second. Vikings Nation, Skutebo's not perfect, and we've got to weigh the risks. His physicality is his superpower, but it's also his kryptonite. With 750 carries already under his belt, he's taken a beating, and that kind of mileage raises red flags about durability. We've seen too many running backs flame out early. Can Skutebo buck that trend and give us a solid decade in purple? Another knock? Top-end speed isn't his game. Don't get me wrong, he's got burst and he'll break off 20-yard runs like it's nothing, but he's not going to outrun a safety 60 yards to the house. Think doubles hitter, not home run king. For a Vikings offense that loves to stretch the field with Justin Jefferson, that might mean Skutebo's more of a complementary piece than a solo star. Does that fit our vision, or do we need a burner instead? And then there's ball security. 10 fumbles on 822 touches isn't awful, but it's not great either. That physical, never-say-die style means he's fighting for every yard, but it can leave the ball exposed. Vikings fans, we've lived through fumble nightmares before. Can we stomach a guy who might cough it up in crunch time? It's a gamble, and Kwesi's got to roll the dice just right. What's your take? Hit me in the comments. Time to paint a picture. Fam, imagine Skutebo in a Vikings uniform, bulldozing through the Packers' D-line at Lambeau. It's 4th and 1, late in the 4th quarter, and he lowers his shoulder, dragging defenders for a first down as the crowd roars Skol. That's the throwback power we haven't had since Leroy Horde was bruising fools in the 90s. Skutebo's built for those gritty, cold-weather games we live for in Minnesota. But it's not just about power, he's got finesse too. Picture him catching a swing pass from J.J. McCarthy, spinning out of a tackle, and rumbling for 15 yards on 3rd and long. With 80 career receptions, he's a mismatch nightmare for linebackers, and pairing him with Jones could give us the most dynamic backfield in the NFC North. Kevin O'Connell's creative play calling would have a field day with this guy. Think jet sweeps, screens, even wildcat looks. Here's the suspense, though. Where do we draft him? Some mocks have him as a day 2 steal, maybe at pick 97 in the 3rd round, but his playoff heroics might push him higher. Kwesi's already worked magic with limited picks. Could he trade back from 24, grab an extra selection, and still snag Skutebo? The draft's a chess game, and we're all on the edge of our seats waiting for his next move. What's your dream scenario, Vikings fans? Let's zoom out and look at the big picture for a sec. The Vikings' running game has been solid but not spectacular. Aaron Jones had 1,000-plus yards last year, and Jordan Mason's a nice addition, but we need youth and depth. Skutebo's 4,769 career rushing yards and 50 touchdowns scream workhorse potential, and at 22 years old, he's got the legs to grow with J.J. McCarthy over the next 5 years. This could be a long-term investment that pays off big. Compare him to past Vikings backs. Ty Chandler's got speed but not the power, and Dwayne McBride's still unproven. Skutebo's a blend of old-school grit and modern versatility, like a Mike Alstott with better hands. Vikings news has been buzzing about how he'd fit Brian Flores' aggressive defense too. Imagine him as a short yardage hammer while our D-line feasts. It's a match made in Valhalla, right? But here's the twist. What if he's gone before we pick? Other teams, like the Broncos or Chiefs, are eyeing backs like Skutebo too, and this class has studs like Amari and Hampton lurking. If Kwesi misses out, do we pivot to a wide-out like Notre Dame's Jordan Faison or a safety like Georgia's Malachi Starks? The draft's a minefield, and every choice is a heartbeat-skipping moment. What's your backup plan, fam? Alright, let's break down the tape. I watched Skutebo's 2024 games against Oregon State, Washington State, and Oregon, and holy skull, this guy's a beast. Against Oregon State, he's bulldozing for 150 yards, shrugging off tackles like they're mosquitoes. Then against Washington State, he's cutting on a dime, turning a 3-yard gain into a 20-yard scamper with a filthy spin move. That's the kind of playmaking that gets you hyped off the couch. The Oregon game? That's where he showed his guts, grinding out 120 yards against a top defense, plus 5 catches for 60 yards. He's not just a one-trick pony. He's a Swiss Army knife who keeps defenses guessing. For a Vikings offense that's been craving a consistent ground game to take pressure off JJ, Skutebo's the type of player who could turn close losses into W's. Think that 2024 nail-biter against the Lions. But here's the kicker. His physical style means he's got to stay on the field. One big hit could sideline him, and with only 4 picks, we can't afford a bust. Is he worth the risk, or should we play it safe? I'm torn. Vikings Nation, drop your thoughts below, because this debate's heating up faster than a tailgate grill. Let's talk fit with the Vikings scheme, because that's where the rubber meets the road. Kevin O'Connell loves a balanced attack. Last year, we ranked 12th in rushing yards but leaned hard on Jones. Skatebo's power and pass-catching chops could bump us into the top 10, giving J.J. McCarthy a reliable outlet and keeping defenses honest. Pair him with Justin Jefferson stretching the field, and you've got a nightmare for coordinators. In short yardage situations, he's a godsend. Think goal line stands where we've come up empty too many times. His 50 college touchdowns prove he's a finisher, and at 215 pounds, he's built to plow through the Aaron Donalds of the world. Plus, his blocking skills mean he's staying on the field for third downs, protecting our rookie QB and keeping drives alive. It's a plug-and-play dream, right? But suspense alert. What about the O-line? Our interior line's gotten better with free agency moves, but it's still not elite. Skatebo's quickness helps him dodge trouble. But if we can't open holes, even a tank like him might stall out. Can Kwesi bolster the trenches enough to unleash this beast? That's the million-dollar question. Fam, sound off in the comments. Halfway through Vikings Nation, and the hype's still rolling. Let's dream big. Skatebo's the kind of back who could rack up 1,200 yards as a rookie if he lands with us. Picture him splitting carries with Jones, wearing down defenses, and breaking out a 40-yard rumble to seal a playoff berth. That's the skull vision we've been starving for since Adrian Peterson's MVP days. He's not just a stat stuffer, he's a culture fit. Skatebo's a 4-star recruit turned Heisman runner-up who plays with a chip on his shoulder. Perfect for a fan base that lives and breathes purple pride. Vikings fans would eat up his blue-collar style, chanting his name at US Bank Stadium as he barrels over some poor Bears linebacker. Can you hear it already? But here's the curveball. What if Kwesi trades up to grab him? With only 3 picks after the first round, 97, 139, and 187, he might have to package something to jump the line. It's a bold move for a team that's all in on 2025, but the reward could be a decade of dominance. Would you pull the trigger or play it patient? Let's hear your strategy. Let's get nerdy with some numbers because stats don't lie. Skatebo's 6.4 yards per carry is elite. Compare that to Aaron Jones' 5.0 last year, and you see the upside. His 103 missed tackles forced in 2024 ranked him among the top backs in college football, and his 262 career total is straight up ridiculous. This dude's a walking first down machine, and we need that yesterday. Then there's the receiving. 80 catches, 862 yards, 6 touchdowns. That's RB1 production in a passing league, and for a Vikings team that threw to running backs 92 times last season, it's a perfect match. He's not just a bruiser. He's a chain mover who keeps drives alive, something we've missed in tight games against the Packers and Lions. Can you say game changer? But the suspense ramps up. Those 10 fumbles. It's a 1.2% fumble rate, higher than you'd like for a pro back. Kwesi's got to weigh that against the upside. Can our coaches drill ball security into him? Or is it a deal breaker? Vikings News is split on this one, and I want to know where you stand. Drop it below. Time to compare him to the field, because this draft's a buffet of talent. Skatebo's not the fastest. Guys like North Carolina's Amarian Hampton might edge him in a foot race, but his power and versatility set him apart. Hampton's a stud, don't get me wrong, but Skatebo's 111 catches blow Hampton's 34 out of the water. For a 3-down roll, Skatebo's the pick. Then there's the intangibles. He's a leader who willed Arizona State to the playoffs, finishing with a Heisman-worthy 1,711 yards and 21 touchdowns in 2024. That's clutch DNA, something Vikings fans crave after years of almost there. He's not a project like Dwayne McBride. He's ready to roll day one, and that's gold in a win-now window. But here's the drama. What if the Broncos snag him first? Denver's desperate for a back, and mocks have them eyeing Skatebo in the 4th round. If Kwesi waits too long, we could lose him to Sean Payton's scheme. Do we strike early or risk it for extra picks? The clock's ticking. Fam, what's your call? Let's talk legacy because Skatebo could be more than a draft pick. He could be a Vikings icon. Think about it, we haven't had a true power back since Leroy Horde, and even AD couldn't catch like this guy. At 22, he's got a decade to pair with JJ McCarthy, building a backfield that terrorizes the NFC for years. That's the stuff of Skol legend. Picture the headlines: Skatebo smashes Packers in playoff upset, or Vikings rookie runs wild in Super Bowl push. His 50 college touchdowns hint at a nose for the end zone, and with our defense stacked after free agency, he could be the offensive spark we need. Vikings News is calling it 2025 could be our year if this domino falls. But the suspense peaks. Can he handle the NFL grind? That physical style's a double-edged sword. Will he thrive like Derrick Henry, or wear down like so many before him? It's a high-stakes bet, and Kwesi's got one shot to nail it. What's your gut telling you, Vikings Nation? Alright, let's wrap this up with some draft day vibes. It's April 2025, and we're on the clock. Kwesi's pacing, the war room's buzzing, and Vikings fans are holding their breath. Do we stick at 24 and pray Skatebo falls? Or trade back and grab him later with an extra pick in our pocket? Every second feels like an eternity, and the Skol chants echoing in our heads. If we land him, day one's electric. He's in purple, smashing pads at rookie camp, and fans are already designing Skatebo Skol jerseys. His 4,769 college yards and playoff pedigree mean he's no gamble. He's a weapon ready to unleash hell on the NFC North. Pair him with Jones and Mason, and our backfield's a three-headed monster. Good luck stopping that. But here's the final twist. What if another team swoops in? The Chiefs, Giants, even the 49ers could steal our thunder, leaving us scrambling. Kwesi's gotta outsmart them all, and we're counting on that GM magic. Where do you see this ending, fam? Skatebo in purple or a heartbreak pick? Let's bring it home, Vikings Nation. This is why we bleed purple. Skatebo's not just a name on a draft board. He's a spark that could ignite a Super Bowl run. With JJ McCarthy slinging it, Justin Jefferson torching DBs, and a defense that's downright nasty, a back like Skatebo could push us over the hump. 2025's our shot, and I'm all in, are you? Think about it. 6.4 yards per carry, 103 missed tackles, 111 catches. This guy's a unicorn who fits our needs like a glove. Whether he's a first-round splash or a day two steal, he's got the juice to make Vikings News explode and give us bragging rights over Packers fans for years. The draft's our Super Bowl right now, and Skatebo's the X-Factor we've been praying for. So here's your call to action. Smash that like button if you're hyped for Skatebo, drop your draft predictions in the comments, and subscribe for more Vikings breakdowns. Hit that bell so you never miss a beat. Share this with your Skol crew, because we're building something special here. Until next time, keep the faith and Skol Vikings.